the way I work is I usually ask the questions first that I think
Okay.
are most likely to be asked.
Okay.
And then if your answer is good, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm just going to keep going. If there's something that you might want to change, then I'll spend a little bit more time on it.
Okay, there's probably it's not going to be great. So bear with
And
me.
then I usually try to budget like at least 15 to 30 minutes for um some hospitals do like clinical scenarios, some do like case studies lately, and I think maybe they're starting to do that more because they're trying to do something that's similar to the NCLEX.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same either way.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So could
Good.
you please start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into nursing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just recently graduated nursing school in October and I took my NCLEX in the beginning of November. I got into nursing. I knew at a young age I wanted to work with in a hold on here. I've been practicing this too much, I feel like. Anyways, at a young age, I knew that I really wanted to work with people and just like helping people. I really loved being able to, support people in like times of need or anything like that. But I also had a fascination for like the science, like anatomy and physiology. Um, and my family doesn't have a background in any kind of medical field or anything like that. So I didn't really have direction on where to go with my interests. So I really took it upon myself to like do research and be able to find the career that best suited me. And upon that research, I started off as a medical assistant. And I remember 2 days into medical assisting, I realized I was like, wow, this is it. This is what I want to do. But also, as a medical assistant, I couldn't do a lot. And one of the things I really enjoy is being like an advocate for my patients. And I saw LVNs and nurses that I worked with able to do that. So I really wanted to be that person. And that's how I decided I wanted to do nursing.
So the first time you speak, you want them to connect with you, and sometimes that can be
Okay.
done with like oh, by the way, is this in person or Zoom? Okay. Because if it's in Zoom, you can like just a few smiles can go a long way in
Okay.
like if you can find a way to just like genuinely smile, that can help build a
Yeah.
connection. Or if you tell them something about you that like genuinely kind of makes you expressive. Like
Okay.
what you said was good. There was just no like initial like thing that made you stand out.
Okay.
What about like this hospital? Like, is there something about this hospital that like you really like or like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I grew up going to that hospital. So I felt like if they were to like ask me like why this hospital, I'd kind of play
for like
into
a
that.
family member or something?
Huh? What was that?
For like a family member or
No, just for myself. Just growing up, I was always going, I was either cracking my head open on the trampoline or doing something, but I was always going. So I don't know.
and so like based on the care you've received, you've been like drawn to that hospital maybe?
Yeah.
What was it about like the way they treat you there that you liked?
Well, definitely the nurses. I just remember the nurses being really helpful and just really being able to like talk to me and calm me down in like certain situations. And I really want to be that person for someone else. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Just a little flavor. Like your answer wasn't bad at all, but just
Okay.
something to make it pop, you know?
I know. My whole thing is like I feel like I'm being interrogated for some weird reason. And I've had so many people tell me like it's a conversation. It's a conversation. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, it's easier said than done though, because
Yeah. And when you say panel, what does that mean? Does that mean like multiple people that you're interviewing, like for the same, like your competition is going to be there, or like
no,
managers
so
for
it's I think
different
it's
units, or?
yeah, managers for different units. But it
Okay.
sounds like there's only 2 units, so I think it's probably two nurse managers from both of
Okay.
those units because there's 4 people that are going to be there.
Four people. Interesting. Okay. Maybe like the unit director and like the assistant unit director or something like that.
Probably,
Timer.
most likely. Sounds like it. Yeah.
Can you please tell us why you, just in case they ask you as like a separate question, can you please tell us why you'd like to work at our hospital?
So I really want to work because I have actually had some experiences as myself, for myself as a patient here when I was younger. I am very healthy now. So um, just, I'm sorry. Hold on. I can like think right now. Okay, hold on. Okay. No. Okay. So yeah, I've had experiences myself in the care that I received and when I was in through the nurses, especially, was very compassionate. And I really want to be that nurse for other people. And also too, I really like because I know there's room to grow. And I really like the opportunities and yeah, the opportunities to be able to further my education with you guys. Yeah.
What do you mean by that? By just like us talking?
Because I feel like I have a lack of experience as a new grad
Oh,
and really feel in itself their new grad program is really great. So maybe I can mention like I've heard the
maybe
new
you
grad
can
program.
say that because when you said that, I was like, oh, does she mean she wants to be like an NP or like what is she talking
Oh,
about?
okay. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
say, yeah, I'm like, I heard the new grad program is really great here. And I'd love
Yeah,
to be able to like further my education through that and gain a lot more experience as a nurse with
yeah,
you guys.
totally.
Okay.
And then, you could say something specific about the hospital. Like, I don't know if it's like a teaching hospital or if like they have some like something in their mission statement that you also are like, yeah, I respect that.
Okay.
Um,
They do mention just like being like diverse and inclusive.
yeah, you can mention
So
that.
play into that. Just kind of like, okay, I really like
Mm,
how you guys are inclusive and you offer care to whoever it
yeah,
is. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, you can say that you really respect that and you're drawn to that and you'd love to work for a hospital that values that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't do it. So what I did, I still got the job, but I like I had all my favorite stories in my head, but like they didn't ask me. So like at the end I was like, "Hey, you didn't ask me any questions to let me tell my favorite story. Can I still tell it?" Like, sure. Shoot, what is it? So
That's actually really
make sure
funny.
you like on a paper or something that you have with you, like rank like the stories that you for sure want to tell and like
Okay.
squeeze them in so that you
Yeah.
don't do what I did because that was so embarrassing.
Okay. That would be totally
Um,
something I would do.
um, okay, so what if they ask you, oh, by the way, what was your preceptorship in or your capstone or whatever you call it?
So we actually didn't have a
Ah,
precept. I know. It
that
was
sucks.
really hard for them to find a place that would take us in because it was like right when, the pandemic started dying down and um yeah, so
Okay.
what
So
if they ask me that?
they could say, "Oh, I see you didn't do a preceptorship. Why are you choosing our units?"
Okay. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I feel like med surg and step down are kind of they're not like the same, but they're very similar in a sense. Do
So
you
I
think?
think with both of them, you will get a lot of really great time management skills. You'll probably be exposed to a lot of different patient populations. Um,
Okay.
so, you'll get to have like a vast um array of don't say that, that sounds too fancy. You'll just be exposed to like a lot of
A lot.
different
Okay.
disease processes and like
Yeah.
be able to develop different kinds of skills rather than if you were on like just a cardiac floor or like just a transplant floor or something more
Yeah, that's true. I
specialized.
like different populations and
Yeah. um
okay, so yeah, if I were the reason why I want to choose this unit, as for myself, I feel like I'm really detail oriented, but I also do know how to manage my time really well. And I feel like in this kind of, environment, I'm able to excel because I can manage my time and I am detail oriented. I'm safe and I can make sure that my patients are getting the best care, but also um in a timely manner. I feel like I'm repeating myself.
It's coming off kind of like cocky. Like they're gonna be like, you're a new
Okay.
grad. I guarantee you, your time management is crap.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe more so
More
like
like
I'm
gratitude
really
for the opportunity because you like
okay.
being challenged. You like being like you like working in a fast-paced environment where you can be exposed to developing a lot of different skills for a lot of different kinds of patients.
Okay.
Maybe
That's true.
like instead of
Okay. I
like
like
I'm
that.
really good at this, be like I really enjoy the this thing. Maybe
Okay. That's
yeah,
true. That's
or
good.
I
Okay.
thrive in such and such environment.
Okay. So, yeah, I really like this unit because I feel like it's a place where I can be challenged and really develop my nursing skills even more, such as like time management and things like that. Um, yeah, along the lines of that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like maybe something like I would be really happy to work on either a med surge or a step down floor because
Okay.
I really enjoy working in a fast-paced environment where I can think critically about prioritization and be exposed to um, a lot of different patient populations so that I can, as a new grad, especially develop my skills. Um, while it would be really interesting to work on a specialized floor, I think it's a really great learning opportunity for me as a new grad to really be in the kind of environment that I think I would grow a lot in and I think I would fit well in. Something like
Okay,
that.
you're so good at this.
I've heard a lot of interviews, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff that
Well,
should
that's
never
great.
have been
I
said in
came
an
to the right,
interview.
yeah. Well, I came to the right person then.
Yeah, I love this stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. Um, okay, so what if they say, we have a lot of really great candidates. Can you tell us why we should choose you?
Hmm. Okay. Well, okay. I don't want to sound cocky again. I feel like I always do
I
that,
know it's hard. It's
but
hard,
it is hard, especially with a question like this. I feel like there
right?
has to be some
It's like brag
confidence
about
in it.
yourself.
Yeah. So I feel like you should choose me because I really exemplify a lot of the core values that it has. I really believe in excellent care for my patients, but I also believe in treating my patients with dignity and justice as well. I also love working in a collaborative team. I really feel like being in a team and hearing everyone else's perspectives is invaluable. And I really feel like I'm a great team member to add to that. And I forgot.
So
I'm
you're
looking.
doing something that a lot of people do where like they say a really good answer and then they're like, is that enough? Like, am I done?
Yeah, I need to learn how to end that because I feel
Yeah.
like that I kind of just want to end it there.
Yeah. And you totally can. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like how you like whether you say it as like
No
and
question
that's
mark
it,
at
or it's
the
just
end.
like,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's super common. And I can't tell if people do it with me and like that's not what they would do in a real interview, but a lot of people do it.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely I'm doing it more here with you because I'm like waiting for your
Yeah.
feedback and then
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. So these two are super, super common. I feel like almost all hospitals ask these next two. So can you please tell me about a time that you had a difficult patient?
Okay. A difficult, oh man. Could it be like a patient's family member
Totally.
that's
Yeah.
in the room? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So a time that I had to deal with a difficult patient was when I was providing wound care to my patient. Um, my nurse had told me to go inside the room and do some dressing changes for this patient. So when I went in, I started gathering all my supplies and started, doing the wound change on them. And as I was doing it, their family member was in the room, and I can tell they were kind of watching over my shoulders. And I felt it, and I turned around. I asked them like, "Oh, did you have a question?" And they kind of started challenging me a little bit. They're like, "Oh, well, you're not doing it right. This isn't what the other nurse did." So I just reassured them at that time. I'm like, "Okay, well, I am doing the wound change to the treatment plan and what the doctor ordered, And I started just explaining like step by step what I was doing in that moment to the family member. And by the end of it, what happened was there was a change because the wound had gotten better and no one had informed the family member of the change. So when I found that out, I just let him know. I was like, oh, I'm sorry that no one informed you of this change. And she just thanked me for just being super detailed and just explaining the process with her.
Yeah, I think that's great. And then I think you could finish it out by saying what that taught me is that a lot of times family members feel protective of their family member because it's a really vulnerable time for the
Okay.
patient. And really what they want is to help. So if you kind of bring them into the fold as part of the care team, by explaining what you're doing and like the ways in which these things are helping, and reassure them that uh, this is what the doctors have ordered, and just letting them feel like they're kind of part of the team by explaining
Okay.
things to them. They,
Mhm.
I've learned that that can really help kind of meet their emotional need of feeling like they're involved and they're helping and they understand
Okay.
what's happening, because the hospital can be a really scary place to be, especially when you don't feel like you're informed on what's going on.
I like that. Okay.
Like just something that you learn from it that you will carry
Mhm.
forward through whatever kind of interaction comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
feel like just even, now you're right. Like after that, whenever I would go into a room with a patient and there was a family member in the room, like I made it, a thing to just explain to them what I was doing while I was doing it. I
Yeah.
think as a grad, I would always just go in and just do it because I was like excited. But I was like, oh, wait, hold on. If there's someone in the room, let me explain to them what's going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that definitely was my learning point from that.
And you could say like you found that's a really good opportunity to build rapport with the family
Oh,
members and
I like
also build their confidence in you, especially when you're a new grad and they may look at you and think, you know, oh, you're young, or oh, I see you had a buddy nurse
that.
with you. Do you know what you're doing? Like this is like a really
Yeah,
good time to
absolutely.
build their confidence and rapport with you.
Okay. I like that a lot.
What if they ask you, so this other one's really common, and this one is the one where you talk about like a really heartwarming story. Like, for example, there was a girl for a peds interview and she was talking, the
Mhm.
question is like, it's the above and beyond, like compassionate care one. So she was
Mhm.
talking about like there was a kid who didn't want to wear their helmet, so like they wouldn't go out to the playroom or whatever. And they found out that the kid really liked cats, so they had the secretary print like little cat stickers, and like she put cat
Okay.
stickers like on her badge and stuff, and then on the kid's helmet, and the kid was so
Yeah.
excited. And it gives you
Oh,
like
that's
this
cute.
really sweet like visual image of you like holding that patient's hand or bringing them their favorite whatever, like whatever it was, like leave them with a
Mhm.
visual that makes them go, oh my God, we need this girl.
Okay. An above and beyond time.
Yeah,
The
something.
only thing I can think of is at my last clinical rotation, we had a patient who was admitted for because he had a heart attack and he had a cardiac catheterization scheduled. And he only spoke Mandarin. So no one else on the unit spoke Mandarin, and I speak Mandarin myself, but only to a very like basic level. But I was able to communicate with him because when we went in, we had to get assigned consent. And he was kind of verbalizing to me that he didn't feel comfortable. He didn't know what was happening. And I was able to get that information because I was speaking Chinese to him. But after that, I walked out of the room and I let my nurse know that he didn't feel comfortable just because he didn't really know the exact information about the procedure. So I actually took it upon myself. I found the physician on the floor because he was still making his, or the surgeon, excuse me, on the floor because he was still making his rounds. And I just let him know that the patient in the room was nervous about the procedure and he wanted to speak more about it. And he was like, okay, I can totally do that. Just give me a few more minutes. And in that time, I actually went and found a translator because my terminology in Mandarin is not great. I'm able to get basics, but after that, it's, that's it. So I got up the translator on the iPad. And by the time I had everything all figured out, surgeon was ready to go. We went into the room and he got more information. And as we were walking out, the patient just like kind of pulled me aside and he told me thank you. And that I was his best friend. So
Oh,
yeah, he ended up actually going through with the catheterization. So that was
that's
cool.
really cute. I like that. Yeah, that's a good one. And
Okay.
like it's really important that you knew like sort of the legal boundary of like when it comes to consent or like explaining some kind of like actual medical care, like medical assessment, you have to use a translator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.